This is an older build of mine, and I thought it'd be really interesting to have a go at doing a tutorial on it. It's a Minecraft spider, well, pretty much based on a Minecraft spider, but I wanted it to look a bit more realistic. So I like the look of their face, and I like the idea that the body is still very blocky, but I tried to go for more natural looking legs, and I also based it on a red back, mainly because we've got plenty of these guys around here. So yeah, now I'm building this on Xbox 360, so obviously my palette is a little more limited to what you have probably got. So I've only picked a handful of blocks. I've got netherwort, red concrete, grey concrete, cyan terracotta, black concrete, and marine lanterns, which I generally use just for measuring. And you can see here I've pretty much started 8 blocks off the ground, and I've building an 8 by 8 by 8 cube, and then I'll be filling it in. So it's a pretty easy start. Yeah, don't let that lull you into a false sense of security, because it does get a little more complicated as we go. The body of the spider is pretty basic, really. But yeah, the legs, they're going to be a little bit more interesting. You may have already also noticed that I have to be wearing diamond armour. That's a bit sad, really, isn't it? Anyway, just to give you a bit of an idea of the scale of this spider, I measured him just this morning, just out of curiosity, really, to see how big the build would actually be. So from the tip of his front leg to the rear leg, he's 90 blocks long. So yeah, it's a pretty decent size. So it'll be an interesting build. You can see that it's just a typical Minecraft spider's face, really. The blocks are a little bit different, but as I said earlier, I'm a bit limited as far as especially reds go, so I just use netherwort and red concrete. And the only difference really on this face is that I've changed just where his fangs are, and you'll see in a minute. It's just those corner bits that I'm taking off now, I think they're not like that in, the normal spider. And I've also continued the fangs down a little bit outside of that block, so they hang down, outside of the 8 by 8 cube. Just looks a bit more realistic, I guess. So the next bit that we're working on now is called the pedestal, but I'll just call it the neck, really. It's probably the easiest thing. So that basically is 2 blocks in from either side, and it's 1 block in from the top and the bottom, which pretty much makes it 4 blocks long by 4 wide by 6 high. And this is what you should have at this point. With the face, I imagine that you'll be pausing it to look at where the placement is for the eyes and that sort of thing. So the next part is doing the abdomen. So I basically just went out 6 blocks either side of the neck, and that's, just makes it nice and central, makes it easy, and 6 blocks high as well. And then you just pretty much work your way around until you've got a nice big flat square, pretty much. And then you go and fill it in. There's a section too, just down the bottom there. I think I'm doing it now. Just here. You can see that I'm 1 below the bottom of the neck. I did end up changing that so that the abdomen was on the same level as the bottom of the neck, but I'll point that out in a little while. So now you pretty much just fill it in. And there you have the front part of the spider's abdomen finished. Next off, we just go out 1 block pretty much from the whole thing and go back. I think I did 14 blocks. But really, that's up to you. You could make the abdomen a bit longer, and I think it probably would look a bit cooler if it, went back a little bit further. And then you're going to do a whole lot of filling, really, which, takes a lot of time. Very easy to do, though. So, yeah, this part of it's really straightforward. You'll be able to see just in a sec. Just here we go. This is where I took off one layer pretty much from the bottom of the front of the abdomen. Doesn't really make that much difference, but anyway. And yeah, just build out one from the side, and you've done that all the way around, and you can see I'm doing it on the bottom there as well. Yeah, and just keep filling. So at this point, as you can see, you've nearly done the body. You've got a nice blocky abdomen. Everything else is pretty much done apart from the back. And now we're pretty much going to put his red back on. Actually, I've got a feeling it's the females that have the red back and the males are just black. So I should be calling it a her, shouldn't I? Yeah, so I pretty much just did 6 from either side. So there's a 4 block wide red part there. You can do it any colour or any shape, whatever you want to do. It's up to you really. This is just what I went with. Usually when I do a build, I actually try to do it an odd number of blocks wide, just because it makes it easier, especially when you're coming to something like this. When you want something to look kind of pointy, then with an odd number, you've got a nice sort of single block in the middle, whereas this one I ended up with 2. But anyway, that's just the way it went. This is where it starts to get just a little bit tricky. So I'm going to start doing the legs now. So sort of between the head and the abdomen, you want to do a little platform, I guess. Now I was going to do the legs grey, but I ended up deciding to do them a lighter colour in a block that actually has a nice defined edge, just so that you're going to be able to pause and, I guess, count, and we'll hopefully just have a go at doing this. So there's a little bit of mucking around for a start. I did start doing them in the dark, in the grey, and then as you can see here, I'm doing it in, I think it was polished andesite. So yeah, basically you're just going to start doing a step up. So 2 blocks up and then a few steps, and then you're going to go up a certain number that I haven't counted yet. And that number would be 12. So now I'm just adding a little bit of extra volume. So you can see I'm going down 3 blocks here. And yeah, I think I'll do it again on the next one. And that one. So they're each 3 blocks high, if you can see what I mean there. And now you're just going to put another line of blocks. And just one above the others. And another line. And now you're just going to do a number of 3 by 2 by 1, just going up in a sort of diagonal pattern. And you'll see this configuration of blocks a bit. And that just gives you a bit of an idea of how it looks from all angles. And then you just put 1 block in the corner, and it just gives you a little bit of extra depth. And then that top one, just add an extra layer. And then you'd just be doing a little 2x2. And again, just continuing up in sort of a diagonal way. Then you add that block in the corner. And yeah, I guess it just gives it a little bit more of an extra dimension. And you make it a cube at the top. And just in the bottom right corner, you're going to continue with the 3x2x1 blocks going down diagonally. And this one's just a little bit different. So it's just got an extra block at the top, but then it's the 3x2x1. Then we're going to go down a little bit further. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 7 down. And then you've got a single line on their back. Then you've just turned around and you're now sort of working on the inside of the leg, just coming down. And that leg is done. And yeah, just going back just to see, I've built the other leg because really it's just the same. So you're basically doing the same thing on the other side. And now we're just going to come in and start the next leg in a minute. There we go. So there you've got 4 and then you're going up. So you've got 3 up. So again, it's that 3x2x1. So you're just going to continue that, just stepping it up. So there's 5 there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now. Then you go up 1, then down another. Then this is quite straightforward now, you're just stepping down. So you step down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you come straight down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down. So this leg's really quite easy. So he's coming along okay. And I thought I might as well show the other side. I've just sped it up a little bit. So yeah, just stepping down. Counting, always counting. Straight down, down another line, and that's it. Then we start on the next leg. So 2 out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up. And then there's your little 3x2x1 again, just repeated. So yeah, really simple. You can see it's the same height as the leg behind it. And you're going to step down again. And this time I think it's 11 steps. So it is 11 steps down. 2, 3, 6. So it's 7 down again. And then you just continue that back one down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So that's that one. So we're nearly up to the front legs. And we're very nearly on the home straight. So the front leg isn't too bad. So you're starting with a cube and there's just a step out the front. And then you'll see the good old 3x2, but this time it's a double one. So then that's just repeated again diagonally up. So you do 6 of those. But on number 6 you just come out a little bit further, so another 2 and then 1. Just to be tricky. And then you offset, and you can see there, if you pause it or go slow, you'll be able to see what I'm doing there. So I'm stepping it up. Now that's 18 blocks long. The second one is 23 blocks. And the third one will be 26 blocks long. And now you're just going to be stepping down. So I'm coming out 2 and then just stepping down. So you can see it's actually, I suppose, 3 each step, but yeah, and just counting along here just to see where I start to bring just a little more, I guess, size to the leg. And this is probably going to be better if you are actually going to have a go at building it. You know, you'll be able to sort of pause it on there and just see what it is. And then you're basically going to just step it down pretty much 1 from now on, I think. Yeah. And then just give it a little bit more depth. And then you're going to do like a single line just coming down diagonally. And then touchdown. And the other leg is virtually the same. It's just pretty much at the end where, it's coming down. It doesn't actually touch the ground, this other leg, but it is pretty much the same thing. And you'll see here, I've just sped up a bit more. So it is the same configuration you can see there. And you will come along at the top and do 18. I think I did actually 17 on this side, but I did end up changing it. And 23 and then 26 coming out. And then you'll just start stepping down again and coming out. It really is 3 there, but I mean, don't worry about that bit. Yeah, you can see that I'm coming out 2, but it is technically, I suppose, 3 blocks out. So just a little bit further and we're pretty much done. So I think I come down 11 of those, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 10, 11 from that single step there. Just a little bit of filling in. Just a few more blocks and we're done. So there's just a couple just under there. And ta-da! So this is how she looked in the end. So I hope that this was okay to follow. I've never done a tutorial before, so it's a real learning experience, and I'd love to know how you went and if it was easy enough to follow or not. I'd really love to hear about it, and thanks a lot for taking the time to watch my video. And I might post another, just a little video, like really short, just showing the other spider in the background. Just for Halloween, I've kind of done a pumpkin variant. So yeah, thanks a lot and goodbye.